We are the Power After Plug team, and we have a special guest in studio. Of course, I am your host, Jimmy V. Besides me,
I'm Bam Erickson.
I'm Jill Monroe.
And I am. Oh, go ahead.
and special guest alert, which you will just have seen on this episode, is
Patrick Walker.
and you play
Alphonse.
yes.
We haven't seen you since season 5, episode, I want to say 7.
Yes.
You come back with a freaking bang.
Yes.
So you are now working with Ghost to help him get the $2 million that he needs in order to save his son,
Right.
Tariq. I'm stunned.
How you end up being the ops? I mean, we know that you dropped some intel to Ghost last season. How did that kind of come together?
I feel like from the beginning it was a thing that even me and Omari talked about, where like Alphonse being from the same place that Ghost is from, it kind of is like a
Same neighborhood.
Yeah, there's this respect in the OG. So it's like having that moment to say like, hey, where he needed me the first time, like for him to call me in again, it's almost like another chance just to like get my shot to do more, you know. And I feel like at any moment like he takes that. Same as like Dre, like throughout the whole show, like Dre is always like he ready to get more, and it's like that same kind of mentality where it's like the young boy trying to get his shot, you know.
Ghost is a mentor.
Wow.
Yeah, a unique mentor. Yeah.
When you saw the script and you saw what was happening in that scene that you were potentially taking out Ghost, what was that like?
When I was reading, I was like, man, I hope I do something crazy. Because the executive producer called me on the phone when I landed in New York.
Okay.
He was like, yo, this episode is gonna be a lot of crazy sequences.
Which executive producer was it, Gary?
No, it wasn't Gary. It was Bart.
Okay.
Bart. Bart calls me. He says it's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff happening in the episode, and I hadn't even read the script yet. So I was like, oh man, Bart called me. I'm in the hotel. I'm like, yo, I'm in New York. It's gonna be crazy. So then when I was getting on the plane to LA, from LA to New York, I saw Courtney Kemp, the writer, and she was like, thank you so much for coming back. It's gonna be a lot of crazy sequences. So I'm like, man, what's happening? He was so off on. It was a power trip. Like that is all it is. It is a power trip mixed with some drugs, and like being so into that moment that the job was done. Like they were supposed to go in, get the money, and go. Like that was a part of the plan throughout the whole episode, as you saw. And he just takes it a little too far, and he enjoys his power just a little too much. And unfortunately, it leads to his
Demise.
Yes, sir.
How'd you even first book Alphonse?
Well, the audition for the first episode was one line, because I had one line in season 4, episode 9. After Raina dies and stuff, and it's like he's like Lorenz Tate, Councilman Tate,
yeah.
brings me in. He has one line, and it's "What's up?" And the audition was just me going in and saying "What's up." So I stood there, and it was other guys who read for the same role. Obviously, they were outside.
Go ahead.
And I just remember just being as relaxed and like but I knew I was looking at Ghost when I even though the names are changed, so you won't know.
Right.
But I was like, he talking to Ghost, and I took it as like I'm about to take his spot in my brain. And then "What's up?" was just like I think I smiled with it, like "What's up?" And then she was like, "Oh great, do it one more time." I did it, and then didn't even have the money to get back home. Had to borrow. It was crazy to even get back home, but I booked it.
After you get the role, were you told that you were going to come back, or
I believe it was a possible recurring at the time because the writers changed the script so much. It was just a possible recurrence. So I did that episode, the first one, and I just kind of had an idea that he was coming back because they just introduced them, and then that was it.
When you got this final script, did they tell you ahead of time that you were going to die, or did you?
Yes.
How did you figure out? Okay.
They called me on the phone. They called and said, and that's when the executive producer called and said, he was like, he said, have you seen Scarface? I was like, yeah. He was like, that's how he goes out, or something like to that effect. Because there's gonna be a big bang, like it's gonna be a big moment like that. And then when I read the scene, I said, okay. And then later on, it was Bart too, and Bart was like, think of Dog Day Afternoon with Al Pacino, because he robs the bank in that movie. Yeah. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, okay, that makes total sense of like how like wiry he is, and he, everybody is just, and he's just enjoying this moment of like all these rich people looking at me do this thing, and like, and it's so much other like back thought that I had into this.
What are some of your top deaths in Power?
Oh man,
Some of your favorites.
Favorites.
oh man, Holly.
Oh,
When Holly dies.
Yeah.
That was like for a person to love someone else so much and they strangle them.
And she's on the wall.
And she's on the wall and he watches her, and that them drugs, like they like when Holly died and the way he did it, it was like Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think when, and obviously when Angela died, I was like,
Angela,
no. Yeah, but those two deaths were like, and when 50 died, when Kanan died, I was like,
When he
So,
Yeah.
what would you rank your character's death if you had to like? Would you give it number 1, number 2, number 6, number 7? I mean, because there's been several.
I wouldn't put it that high,
Mm-hmm.
just because like when you see characters more often, then you have an emotional connection to them. Like Angela's is possibly my favorite, just because I was so connected to her.
Attached. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
were.
yeah. I loved Angela.
Why?
I loved it.
I love it too. No, yeah.
I just want to know why.
Petty. Not me. No. I'm just laughing at Bam. We
'Cause
we call Bam
I call
Petty
myself-
Pablo. He
yeah.
kills everybody
I
off,
kill everybody.
and
And I knew
he's
you.
not attached to anyone.
And I knew as soon as I saw you back on the screen, I was like, oh, he's dead.
But yeah.
I do feel like that your character, that Alphonse, each time that he's appeared, it revealed something about Tate that opened
It
the
did,
story
yeah.
up. So
It did.
it served, it was key moments. It
Yeah.
served a purpose. There
Yeah.
were no throwaway moments for me
yeah.
anytime he was brought in the
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What for you was that big role that you were like?
The Resident on
Yeah.
Fox. The Resident, yeah. The Resident is like, I was supposed to do 1 episode on The Resident, and I did 10. I did
10, wow,
two seasons, and yeah, that show was like, they gave me so much, and the same thing with Pat, like they gave me so much opportunity to perform, because I showed up one time and they just brought me back and over and over again. It just keeps going. So
You don't only act, you also teach too.
yeah,
Speak about that, man.
actors play LA.
Yeah.
So in Atlanta, we have something called the booking room. I was 22. I'm 26. So when I was 22, me and a group started the booking room in Atlanta, which is happening right now. It's a class in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends, Brittany, she started a class here. And
Brittany Hall.
Brittany Hall, yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's great. So she had an idea to start an acting class here. She brought me on and said, "Yo, let's do this thing," and we did it. So yeah, it works.
With you being an acting coach, what do you specialize in? Is it more like techniques for like the audition process, or is it is it character development? What's your niche?
I think that I am really good at just choices. My brain just is I think my brain just can conjure up more choices than the average actor. Like if the average actor has 2, I'm gonna have 7. But just really, really fast, I'm gonna have like boom, like 7 ways to do a scene. So when other people come to the house to like tape an audition or to go over stuff, like as soon as they start, I already have other ways of where they can go or where the scene can go.
We got some power trivia for you. We're going to test your knowledge of certain seasons and episodes.
Great.
So I'm first. So I wanted to know how closely you watched the show. Has Tasha ever hooked Tommy up with a friend or with a girl?
Lakeisha,
No.
right?
Nope. Tasha didn't hook Keisha. and
Oh, you
Tommy
mean
up.
like a direct hookup?
Yeah. Has
A
Tasha-
direct hookup? Cause Tommy has been with Holly. That wasn't from her. Tommy has been with Lakeisha, and no, I think the answer is yes. The answer is yes because you asked the question. So
The answer is yes.
He's smart.
Tasha is the perfect wing woman. In season 2, she hooked Tommy up with a threesome to help him get over
yes,
Holly
yes,
kind of
yes.
stepping away
Yeah.
for a minute.
I thought you meant like a real relationship. What you talking
No,
about?
it just
a little
meant
flingy
just
play?
she's a wing woman. She's a better wing
She's great.
woman to Tommy than Ghost is at times.
She's
just
great.
on their friendship level.
She's great.
My trivia question for you is: speaking of Tasha,
I love that. Shout out to Notori. I love you.
we saw the post of
Oh, yeah.
the two of you on Instagram.
My dog. You feel me?
Her mom, she calls her mom Mama. So what's Mama's character's name?
Ooh.
Mama.
I don't know Mama's real name. Just like I don't know the little girl, the smallest girl.
Nobody know her name.
Oh, her name is
Yes.
Yes. I don't know the mama's name.
It's Estelle.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many times did she said it once or twice?
I believe Ghost said it once.
Really?
Shout out to Debbie Morgan.
Yeah, Debbie Morgan.
Oh, she's great.
Yes.
So back in the day,
Yes, sir.
when Ghost and Angela, teen years, we talking young. Angela went away to some school.
Choke.
Okay.
Okay.
You know.
Ding, 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 ding.
Choke. They say that a million times.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, so we have to choke. They push that. They're
Okay,
like,
real quick.
yeah.
Is Choate a real institution?
Nope. Yes,
So
it is.
It is
It is
a real institution. John F. Kennedy went there. Can't remember who else, but it is a real wealthy.
That's something I would look up to.
What are some of your favorite storylines from any past seasons?
Great. What's another great? I loved. Oh my goodness, I love Lobos.
Lobos.
Yes,
I love
that's
Lobos,
my
man.
favorite
Especially
villain.
the character.
Yes.
Oh
You know
man,
what I mean?
yo,
That
villain.
actor played him. so
Lobos
dope.
is that dude is phenomenal.
Yes.
I forgot what the question was. As soon as you said that, I thought Lobos. What was the question?
Favorite storylines? Yeah. Or
Lobos
character.
Lobos was the best. Like,
How did you prepare for that as before going into the scene, and like how long did it take? But yeah.
Great
Oh.
question.
that is a good question. I was in New York and I was at the hotel. Like I don't smoke in real life, so they gave me they had the blunts, the fake blunts. But I told them to like let me get a few pre-rolled early, other like the little fake blunts, and I would smoke them on the street. And then like I was blowing, like I would blow it in people's faces as they passed, like just doing little stuff just to like feel it. But the big scene, like I was just really wiry the whole time, and I can't stand up. I stood in the corner between every take, and I would just be talking to myself. No. Like just building myself up. Like I'm finna come in here, I'm gonna do this, boom, boom, boom. Like in the corner with this gun, just like here we go, Pat, you ready? Yeah, let's do it. Here we go, and action. And I would go into it, yak, and then just go crazy from it. But I had to like build the scene. But I would sit and just standing, looking at the wall, like just stare at the wall, like just talk to myself at the wall.
Was this your first death scene? Was it the first time you died on camera?
No, I died on a scary movie once. They chopped my arms off in the scary movie. Like the dude chopped my arms off and I like fell. I died there. Yeah.
When did you begin your career?
2011. 2011. Yeah.
So you're what, 8
8 years in the game. Yep. Yeah. I think September. Yeah. August was like 8 years.
And what was the first role you booked?
First role I booked was it was Fatal Attraction, like those reenactment shows.
Oh yeah.
On TV1.
TV1,
TV1 was
Got
that.
it.
And then
Baby
it was
Up It.
like my first like real one was Constantine on like the Angel Constantine show.
What do you have coming up?
Coming up, I am going to Atlanta next week to shoot this movie with this Octavia Spencer movie, and Melissa McCarthy. So I'm going to do that. And really just writing. You know, I've just been writing and trying to produce more. I did a lot of movies at one point, and I just slowed down because I booked shows a lot more often. And just getting back to like the creative side of myself and working that.
Let the people know, man, where they can find you at.
My name is Patrick. My name is Patrick Walker.
No, his name.
You can find me on Instagram at THE Patrick Walker, the Patrick Walker. On Facebook, Patrick Walker. I don't do Twitter. That's that.
Make sure you follow him and make sure you're checking us out for the next Power After Show. We'll see who dies next.
We'll see who dies next. That's crazy.
That's it.
That's horrible.
That's power.
We'll see who dies next.
Yeah.